before we get to the principles, I think you have to ask the question, what is the problem here? What are we trying to solve? Now, the World Bank ranks regulatory quality out of 100. So Afghanistan gets a 9, Venezuela gets a 2, Yemen gets a 3. Do you know what New Zealand gets?
Yeah, we're very high by their standard.
Oh, I spoiled it. I was going to say, have a guess. Have a guess. Have a guess. Out of 100, New Zealand's 99.
3. Do you know what New Zealand gets?
Yeah, we're very high by their standard.
99 out of 100. Almost perfect. So you are looking for a solution to a problem that doesn't exist, aren't you?
No, the
Yes.
World Bank is assessing basically, are you a third world country? And so
No, it's not. I looked at this. It's assessing regulatory quality. It gives us 99 out of 100.
And what it's really assessing is, are you a place where it's possible to do business at all? You don't have to do much in order to be.
Okay, well, let's
at the
take another
cutting
couple,
edge.
because the Ministry for Regulation had a look at a couple of these in its regulatory impact assessment. It said that New Zealand was one of the top-rated countries in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business survey and ranked 6th in the World Justice Project's Rule of Law Index for 2024. So, again, in any measure you can shake a stick at,
what is that?
we do very, very well. So why are you wasting time with this?
Well, first of all, I'm not wasting time. You know, wouldn't it be great if journalists
Not
asked a
wasting time.
question without trying to advocate in the interview? But
So there's this first slight, you see, undermine. So he's not actually answering the question, undermine. So he wants to then be able to go back and cut it up and clip it up for his ACT social media and talk about these woke journalists with their agendas, undermine.
first of all, those two indices, you know what the World Bank Ease of Doing Business? It's things like, is it easy to register a company? Well, yes, it is. New Zealand's Companies Office is one of the most efficient in the world. If you want to formally register a company, you do that very well. If you want to actually develop property, get resource consents, get building consents, use building materials, actually do anything, often it will take you longer to get permission to do it. But you see, these indices are basically asking, are you a third world country? They say we have a good rule of law.
Do you think that the World Bank is just asking whether you're a third world country?
That's how I'd paraphrase it, because when they talk about rule of law, yes, New Zealand has a good legal system.
That's how I would paraphrase it. We've got the definition in front of us, but Seymour wants to paraphrase it to give a slightly different, more ACT narrative-friendly answer to this question.
Yeah, this is actually ranking countries on their quality of regulation, though.
No, it's not. It's when you talk about the rule of law, what it's really saying is, can you trust the judges? Yes, in New Zealand we've got a good legal system. Our judges are not corrupt. Our judges aren't taking backhanded. That's all really great, and we come out at the top of that. But my question is how easy it is to use and develop your property. How easy is it, for example?
Got to say as well, Chewie, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you were playing a drinking game during this 30-minute conversation, with a number of times he either said the word property or property rights, you would have been well pissed in the first 10 minutes. It's like a Tourette's response. Everything was property rights, property. Like I was actually kind of going like, is he mixing up his words and he's got like a tick now? Is this a tick he's got? Genuinely, it was said so much. You can see how they are actively going down that line of making everything about property rights, because then we're talking about land and property, then that obviously equalizes everybody, because there's no race in property, there's no age in property, there's no money, like wealth disparity in property. Property is just the stuff you stand on, and it's all the same for everybody.
Well, remember what I said yesterday about ACT's position in the RSB. It's interesting that he's so driven here to talk about property rights and developing your property. And yet everything he has done in government has been aimed squarely at dismantling, at disentangling the treaty from our lawmaking and from our consideration around our lawmaking. That he might talk about individual rights, but it comes back to the property rights. And property rights are something that corporations can have. But property rights is something that the treaty is heavily involved in. So what's his angle here? I think it's fucking obvious.
Yeah. Yep. All right, this clip's got 30 seconds.
For New Zealand farmers and horticulturalists to get consent for new materials that are good for inhibiting pests, for pesticides, for veterinary medicine.
Couple of examples.
Just a second. You wanted to talk over me. Actually,
Yes.
That is the stuff of
He's such a little bitch. I mean, like,
He's
honestly,
a smarmy prick.
it's just, he's such a little. It's this example of the right always talking about the soy boy snowflakes on the left, but they're such little snowflakes.
Jacinda was right all along.
Like little dribbling, cowardly. I haven't said enough words yet.
New Zealand's economy, and we are one of the worst countries in the world for getting new chemicals for horticulturalists and farmers to use. And often the new chemicals we want have lower environmental impacts. Our competitors around the world are moving to them. We can't get them consented.
Citation needed.
Well, I mean, you don't get a chance to do an interview like this unless you're really well prepped.